What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another TSGG video review. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first TSGG video review, we do things a little bit differently. We have our very own grading scale. Just to break that down for you really quickly, it is based on fun factor emergence, controls, gameplay and mechanics, graphics, music and sound, and story and replayability. Each category is worth a maximum of 20 points, totaling out to 100, which would be, in our scale, the SS grade. I'm going to go through each topic today based on DMC5, and we're going to decide what TSGG provided it based on the gameplay and all of our tiers. I really did enjoy the game. I'm going to let you know that right ahead of time. So if you're looking for a negative review, this is not going to be it. Without any further ado, let's dive right into it. Starting with fun factor and emergence. If you haven't played a DMC5 or a DMC game before, sorry, this is definitely one. It's not really the one to start on because it does tie a lot of things together, but the game is incredible. It is super fun. The combat's really enjoyable. The game itself is vibrant. The world is vibrant. There's a ton of different combos depending on how you like to play the game. There's a ton of collectibles in the game. There's a ton of weapon choice. It's just very fun and very vibrant, and there's a ton of variety basically. So if you haven't played a DMC5 game or a DMC game, I keep saying it, I can't stop thinking about the game itself, I guess. If you haven't played a DMC game before and you wanted to dive in, as far as fun goes, this is definitely going to be the one. As far as story goes, well, we'll get into that a little bit later. Like I said, is it fun to play? And that's kind of our first tier here. Is the game fun to play? And the only answer is yes. It's incredibly fun. There's going to be multiple playthroughs here. There's about 5 or 6 difficulties, and I'm going to play at every one of them. It's just very fun, and it's going to be different every single time, and that's what I like in a game. Regardless of how long the story is, which it is only about 12 hours, the game itself is super fun, and I had to give it a 20 for this score right here, actually. Moving on to our second category, you're going to have the control, gameplay, and mechanics. This is the one that it's going to take a little bit of a hit, not a lot, and it is a little bit nitpicky, but with this, the negative for it is the game has a lot. It's very vertical, so the jump mechanic outside of combat is a little bit finicky. So you'll find where you have to double jump in some areas, and it's just not a great mechanic. It'll miss. You'll fall a long ways, and it just kind of gets frustrating the third or fourth time you fall, and you just have to work your way all the way back to the top. So it is a little bit finicky. I know that's a little bit picky, but trust me, it does get frustrating in a game with this kind of verticality. So it will lose a few points there. Other than that, though, the game's mechanics and gameplay controls are excellent. The combat is very good. If you haven't played a DMC game before, the combos are very important, and this one is no different, and it definitely makes it feel like a DMC game. However, this one does have an auto combo feature they do recommend you turn on, and I tried the game with and without it, and I also greatly recommend you turn it on. It does make it much more difficult to play, but if you're one of those people that's looking for that skill-based grind and you're really trying to play it that way, it is super fun, and you're going to be able to do it that way as well. It's just going to be a lot more difficult, so if that's what you're looking for, definitely go without the auto combo. But the mechanics themselves, outside of that jump, they're very good. They're crisp, responsive. There's no kind of that blockiness that you feel in some games. So I definitely, outside of the jump, I'm going to give this a very high score. It is going to receive 18 points out of 20 for me. It's just, the combo system has always been good in DMC, and I love it, especially with the grades. So I have to give it that high of a score, regardless of the problems it does show with that outside of combat jump. Our next category here are the graphics. Again, I keep saying it, if you haven't played a DMC game before, this one will blow you away. It is absolutely beautiful. The city is vibrant. The enemies are just so well designed and so well built, and the weapons, they all look different. They don't look reskinned. They don't just feel like the same weapon rebuilt. They are completely different and completely just, they play differently, they look different, they sound different. It's so well done. And then you get into the level design and the character design and how much detail they put into this, even in the deaths of these enemies, I'm sorry. there's just so much detail in every little thing, and the map, the level design, like I said, they put so much effort into it. They always kind of do. You've seen it in a lot of the games, regardless of the developer. With the DMC series, they have had a couple developers in there. It's just you see a lot of effort put into colors and making everything vibrant and beautiful, and this DMC5 is no different whatsoever. The boss fights are enormous, and I haven't seen any kind of clipping or issues like that you do see with this kind of game where style is a big point. You don't want to see the kind of clipping weapons through your character's clothing and things like that. You do see a little bit of that, but not as much as you would expect in a game like this where it is so important. So I really honestly have no complaints about the graphics of the game, and I was playing it on the Xbox One X, so it was running at 60 frames, and I have no issues whatsoever. So for me, the actual graphics, I'm going to give it the highest score as well. I just can't find a complaint about this game. Like I said in the beginning, guys, if you were looking for a negative review, this is not going to be it. When we were going through this as a group, I was talking with them, and I was like, Kevin, who, if you don't know, he's our head of design. I was like, Kevin, I cannot find a con in this game to give you. It's just so well done. But moving on from there, we're going to get to the music and sound, and this is just incredible. They performed Devil Trigger at the Game Awards, and it blew me away then. And in this game, the way that they tied the song to the way that your combo builds up, as your combo meter in fighting is building up, Devil Trigger is playing, and the better you fight all the way up to the triple S score, the better, or the faster the pace of Devil Trigger, which is such a cool mechanic. And it's something you when you hear it, you think it would get kind of, well, it's the same song over and over again, so it sounds like it would get kind of repetitive, and honestly, it never does. It's such a cool feeling, especially when you're grinding out those combos and you of course want the highest score, and then you're getting the fast-paced music, and it's just a big boss fight especially, and it's just so fun, and it's something you definitely look forward to every time. So I have no complaints there regardless. Devil Trigger just fits this game so well. It fits the kind of dark and gloomy the actual story, but also it hits those high notes and the excitement of the battles and things like that. So it's definitely excellent there. I keep saying such good things about it, and I can't say anything bad about the game or the music or the graphics. So again, there it did receive a 20 for me. And then we're going to move on to our final category, which is our story and replayability. This is going to have a little bit of a nitpicky complaint from me, because in the game there are microtransactions and they are power. This is not something you love to see in the game. This doesn't really fit into story and replayability, I know, but it does take a little bit of the grind out of the replayability for me, because for $3 or $4, which the pricing isn't bad at all, I can't complain there, but the problem is that the pricing for the microtransactions, or the actual microtransactions themselves, are power. You can buy globes to increase your health. You can buy the red orbs, which are actually the customization, which you'll see in the video. It's a struggle for me, and like I said, it's very nitpicky, I know, because it's not something you have to do, but it is in the game, and for a lot of players, I know that temptation is too much, and they'll definitely spend some money there just to upgrade your power and really make yourself feel OP, which we all do love to do, but it just takes a lot of the grind out of the game for me. And I know it is very nitpicky, so I am only going to knock off 2 points for it there. But then let's jump into the actual story itself, which is just incredible. It ties so many of the actual DMC games together. It does occur after 2, but it just ties everything together in the game, in the universe that is Devil May Cry, and it is perfect. It's so well done. Honestly, I can't say enough about it or what they've done with this. It's just a great, great story. My only complaint is there wasn't enough of it for me. There's 12 hours, which is pretty regular with DMC. Maybe on higher difficulties, it's gonna be a little bit longer. Naturally, I played it on Human. I played it on Son of Sparta. It's very good, and you just want more of it, if anything. So I'm not going to list that as a complaint, because it is really well done. It ties a lot of the actual kind of loose ends of all the other DMC5s together, or DMC games, sorry, and it's just really well done. So I can't complain about there. And then we get into the replayability, which is honestly one of my favorite features with this game, because of the fact that it is one of the very few games that has launched with with New Game Plus, which you have not seen recently. A lot of the games are adding it later on in patches and things, but this game actually launched with it, and it honestly needs it. One, you can't get the secret ending of the game. There is a secret ending, by the way, until New Game Plus, so definitely check that out, guys. I'm gonna try and give nothing away in this. I tried to keep everything in the background video as well as spoiler free as I could. There are a few cutscenes and things because I wanted you to be able to see the vibrancy of the game and the actual how good it looks, but I kept them very spoiler free. There's nothing in there that you're gonna kind of ruin the story for you. There's a few boss fights in there. I didn't show the whole thing, and I just wanted to show you guys all the variety that is in the fighting in the game. It just everything like that, because the replayability on this is one of its best features, and the number of weapons, I mentioned it earlier, the weapons all feel and look different, and the number of them in this game is incredible. The number of arms on Nero, that just kind of completely change your gameplay style with him, and these things that you definitely want to grind out the game, continue playing, and just building on and kind of customizing your own build and your own play style, and doing things the way you want to do it. And the ability to do that is definitely there in this game, and that's honestly one of the coolest features for me, because I'm all about the grind. And to be able to play on these multiple difficulties as it gets harder and harder, up to Dante Must Die, Hell or Heaven, things like that, and it gets really hard, you definitely want to be able to customize your playstyle to maximize how you're going to be able to play it. So this game provides that for you, and because of that, I also gave it the highest score I possibly could here, while still kicking it off those few points for the power microtransactions, which I never do like to see. So I did give it an 18 here as well. So as a whole, I've only taken 4 points off of the game, scoring it at a 96, which does hit it as our number one grade, our SS, our highest grade that we can give here at TSGG. If you don't want to knock the 2 points off for the microtransactions, because I know it is picky, guys, it's a personal thing. I can't. Buying power in a game is never going to be something I'm a fan of in any game ever. So I did have to knock those 2 points off. If you don't want to, though, it is scored a 98. Regardless, it's an SS grade, and it's a fantastic game. Day one purchase for us. And if you're kind of waiting out there saying, I don't know, I want to see how the reviews go, we definitely understand, but definitely go get it. It's a great game. You'll really enjoy it, and the combat is beautiful. The whole game is vibrant, and if you're a DMC fan, it ties everything together from the other stories, and you're gonna have so many, oh wow, that's so cool. You're gonna have so many of those moments in this game that alone makes it worth it. So definitely check it out. That's all I've got for you. Again, it did hit that SS grade. Check out the video. I hid the audio so you don't hear anything. I kind of kept it as spoiler free as I could, like I said. But that's all I've got today, guys. If you do enjoy, definitely leave a like and subscribe. It helps us out so much, and I appreciate you watching today. But that's all I've got. As always, have an awesome week.